Chapter 3, Tuesday, April 5th, morning. As I was eating my breakfast this morning, I noticed my brother Derek hadn't come down to eat. I asked my dad, "Where is Derek?" And he said, "He was on the couch a few minutes ago. Then he went outside. I figured he was just going to check the temperature before he walked to school." I replied, "Okay, thank you." 10 minutes went by, and still no sign of Derek. It was time for me to go to school, so I said goodbye to my parents and walked out the door. On my way to school, I walked by the 8th grade center woods. But only this time, I saw two people. One was kind of short, and the other was unusually tall. The short one was walking to the tall guy. As I walked closer, my heart sank. It was my brother walking to the man. As the man started to raise his hands to my brother, I ran after him, yelling as loud as I could. I looked at my brother, and he seemed to be in a trance. I pushed him over, and he seemed to wake up. I looked back to the tall man, but he was gone. Millions of thoughts were going through my head. Who was that freak? Where did he go? I was freaked out. I walked my brother home and kept an eye out for the man. When we got home, my dad said he would go check it out later. I told him to wait till after school, but he said no, it's too dangerous. I was disappointed, but I said, okay. My dad dropped my brother off at the 6th grade center first. Then he asked me what the man looked like, and I told him that I didn't pay attention to him, except that he was really tall. He asked how tall. I guessed 7.5 to 8 feet tall. He said, "No way." I told him, "That's how tall you looked." Then he sighed, and he said, "Okay, I'll drop you off and go look for the man." I didn't want him to go, but I figured it was all for the best. Anyway, he has a gun hidden in his car, so he'll probably take that. I went to school, and when I got to Miss Steen's class, I told her the story about this morning. I realized this was a terrible mistake, because after I told her, she started crying a lot, and I felt horrible. When I got home, nobody else was there. My brother was probably still at school, and my dad, I figured, was out getting car parts. It's his hobby to rebuild old cars. 10 minutes passed, and my brother got home. 20 minutes and nothing. 30, still nothing. I texted my dad, but no response. I started to worry, and an hour passed. And at 8:30, I was freaking out. My dad has never gone this long without texting back. Before I could stop myself, I grabbed my pocket knife and told my brother, "Wait here, I'll be back." I ran to the forest. I looked everywhere for my dad, but I couldn't find him. I walked over to the front clearing and saw my dad get in his truck and drive off. It was going to be a long walk home, in the dark. When I finally got home, my dad was waiting for me. He was angry that I went looking for him. I told him I was worried, Dad. He hugged me and said, "It's okay. I shouldn't have stayed so long without going to the truck and calling." So that's why he didn't text back. "Did you find him?" I asked. "No, not a sign. He probably fled the city by now." "Okay, well, that sucks. All in good time, Brian. Now you two need to go off to bed." "Okay, good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. And Derek. Love you guys." They all said love you too. When I got to my room, I put my knife in my backpack. I had a feeling this wasn't over. And that is Chapter 3,